How we doing today, everyone? Another Final Cut TV and Coffee, number 55. This is our second year doing that. Hold on one second. As usual, I have to go over there and post this to a few places. We will be right with you doing the social media thing. Just make sure we get it out everywhere to everybody that wants to see. Join us today. Final Cut TV and Coffee. Here's my coffee. There we go. Now, let me just check a couple more places here. There. And I've even posted on Instagram this morning. So, I will be right back. 3 minutes. We'll be right back in 3 minutes, and we'll start. This is the pre-show. You guys are tuned into this pre-show. FC Final Cut TV and Coffee pre-show. We're going to start the real show in a few minutes. Be right back. Ta-da! Here we are, the magic of the good old internet once again. Everything's working as it should. And let me just check one thing. Let me see if the backyard camera's working. Everything's working as oh yeah, there it is. It's working fine. And let me just check. It is working fine. So it's a rainy day out here. Let me just modify my little round Border width, color, there we go. Put a little border on there as we go. Look at that, birds are out. They like the rainy weather a lot of times. So, we got some things to talk about today. One of the things we're going to talk about, you know what? It's weird. Let me see something here. That's weird. Here. There, I put a little border around. I got the wrong one on the, let me just do that real quick. Me, run scene, title, scene, me. There we go. Now it's got the right one. So we got our friend Marcus Moore. Good morning from Brooklyn. Sean Beckner says, since you're a musician, I'm wondering if you had any input on music licensing. You mean for YouTube and stuff? It's a real mixed bag for that. I know I've bought music for some things and it still gets a strike. I bought the catalog license and it still gets a strike, and you have to go in there and mess with it. I try to use only my own music or YouTube's music when I do a video. They have their own library. And now that I earn money on YouTube. By the way, what I'm doing is this. If you watch Final Cut TV and Coffee, let me put it up here. Final Cut TV and Coffee live, no ads. I took the ads out when I do it live. I put them back in when it's on playback. So if you tune in live, there should be no ads anymore. When I set it up, I uncheck. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. When I set it up, I put no ads. After it's over and it's just playing back, thank you very much. Wow, we got 4 thumbs up already. When I play it back, I put the ads back in to make a little bit of coffee money, whatever. It's not that much. It doesn't make that much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sean Beckner says, good morning. So Sean asked, since you're a musician, what if you had any input on music licensing? So you're talking about if I can recommend somebody. I really can't. I would just, thank you for the thumbs up. I would just go to Google. Another thumbs up. Thank you. We got 6 already. First thing this morning. So I would just go to Google and search and see who has the most success with music licensing and has the highest reviews. The music that I use at the beginning of this show, it's my band. I wrote the music. So I shouldn't have any strikes. I have actually before on one of my songs, and I protested and they took it off. Thank you. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Fantastic. So I would just go ask a couple of groups, maybe Final Cut Pro groups. Thank you for the thumbs up to number 8. I would just go to the Final Cut Pro groups or other groups and say, hey, who has recommendations? Another one, thumbs up 9, for music licensing. I don't have a recommendation because I try to just use my own music for the most part. Jeremy Johnson says, good morning. Absolutely. Big Bot Studios, good morning and good coffee from Toronto, Canada. They have good coffee in Toronto? They have good coffee in Toronto. I've been to Canada a couple times, but not for a long. When I was a kid, I went to Toronto, Canada. Good morning from our friend Matthew Pate. AUDIIO is best for music for videos. It's $199 lifetime a time. Thank you. That's a great tip, Matthew. Very good. Here's our friend Gabriel Spalding, who I've seen at several Final Cut Creative Summits, but last year, 2023, Gabriel and I sat down and had an interview. And I've posted a short clip of his interview already, but I'm going to have a longer segment that I'll be putting up as we get closer to the Creative Summit 2024. And I really can't say anything about that at this point, but I'm going to say that I presume, thank you for the thumbs up, it's appreciated, there's going to be a 2024. What will be announced? I have no idea. Last year we got 10.7, which was fantastic. Hello again from North Carolina, our friend Don Stafford. Sean Beckner says thank you. Big Bot Studios. There is good coffee, but I'm making my own this morning. Absolutely. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that, but I'd rather have ads on your live stream so I can support you. I understand that most of us dislike ads, but I don't mind them when I like the YouTuber. Well, I think I'm going to keep them off the actual live stream. Just as a little bonus for people that tune in live. A little bonus. We have a bunch of people that are already tuned in. We have 9 thumbs up already. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't turn on. Wait a minute. I got to turn this on. Got to turn on reactions. And if I go to this side, I get reactions, the thumbs up on the other side, right? Maybe not. Here. Thumbs up. There we go. So it goes the opposite side, whatever. So I appreciate that. But if you want to support me outside of the YouTube channel, you can do that on my PayPal. But even better than that, just go to buymeacoffee.com and support me there. That's the best way. You can buy a coffee. As a matter of fact, do I have that up here? I don't think I have it up. Let me just see. No, I don't have it up, but buymeacoffee.com. Look for Richard Taylor, and you can support me over there. I made a music track from Soundtrack Pro from the old Final Cut Studio, and somehow it got flagged on YouTube. Did you use loops? Because, yes, at one point they were available to use, and then somehow whoever made the loops put a claim in on YouTube. And they also have these horrible bots on YouTube that just go after all kinds of music they don't own, and they just try to get monetization or take you down for that. Yeah, she said, yes, he used loops. So at one point, the loops were available to be used on YouTube and places. Subsequently, since music becomes such a big business, people that made the loops, maybe it was a library, have filed claim to those loops. So, yeah, I understand. Like I said, I even got one of my songs original songs that I wrote and my band recorded. Somebody claimed that one time. And I went in and challenged. I said, no. This is my band, my recording, original music. And if it was, it was okay at that point. But yeah, that's a problem. What are we going to do with AI going forward? As an artist, as a musician, somebody takes my song and does something with AI somehow and uses that without permission. I'm not that aggressive about it. I don't really overly concerned about it. If I saw it in a movie or something, I would do something. So where do we think Final Cut Pro is 10.7? We are in the Final Cut Pro 10.7 era. Okay? It just started at the end of last year. He just started at the end of last year. And we're just beginning the Final Cut Pro 10.7 era. Just started that. Here's what I'm expecting. It's March now, March the 2nd. I'm expecting an Apple event in March. But this is not just me. A lot of people are. New iPad Pros with maybe a new display or an M3 chip or something. And I'll be tempted with that myself because I'm not buying a new MacBook this year. They're too expensive. They're $5,000 to $6,000 for the one that I want. So rather than get an M3 MacBook Pro 16-inch, I will wait for the M4, maybe the M5. We'll have to see how long my M1 Max lasts because it's doing fantastic right now. And I'll probably get an iPad Pro so I have something new to work with and see how that goes. So our friend Matthew says, Final Cut Pro's new Pro Vertical plugin has me excited about Final Cut Pro this weekend. Some cool new features. Very cool. I'll watch his video. As a matter of fact, let's go over here. This is when I met. Let me see here. Is this it? Yeah. So here is me at NAB. Let me put myself up there. Where am I? Here we go. This is me at NAB 2022. So 2 years ago, and I'm leaving the hall. I forget why. It was in the morning, and I was leaving the Black Magic area. And if you can see over there, behind this guy with the brown shirt on, right behind him are two Final Cut Pro Dylans. Okay, right behind there, the Final Cut Pro and Dylan Johns, and right behind this first guy. And this is what happens. This is where I met them 2 years ago.
Mr. Taylor, my name's Dylan.
Dylan.
Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
I'm also Dylan, believe it or not.
Yes.
We do Final Cut Pro tutorials.
Oh yeah, of course.
We see you all the time in Facebook groups and stuff. So
Yeah,
I wanted to introduce myself.
I've been doing it for a long time.
You have. That's
I started with Final Cut Pro Radio, the podcast.
Uh-huh.
That's still going on.
Yeah,
But then I got involved with YouTube and stuff.
that's right. Very cool. It's nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Enjoying
Are
your
you doing
time.
a live stream right now?
No, this I'm just filming.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
I'm having problems with streaming in here.
I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
with
On the
there's
internet,
so much
it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
My audio is
You can't cut to the cat cam in here, can you?
do what?
You can't cut to your cat camera.
Oh yeah, the cat in the front room. So that's when I first met Final Cut Bro, the Final Cut Bro and Dylan Johns. Both of them was at NAB 2 years ago. 2 years ago? 2022, I think. Yeah, it was 2023. They're the two Final Cut Pro Dylans, I call them. So I like him a lot. Since both his parents are editors, he drops some gems every once in a while. Yep, absolutely. I didn't know his parents were editors. Hopefully, this is what I'm expecting. There will be a new update coming to Final Cut Pro during that event. Final Cut Pro has been updated specifically at NAB many times. Many times. Final Cut Pro 10 had its worldwide debut preview. It wasn't released at an NAB Super Meet. Okay? So Apple thought it was important enough to release it at the Super Meet at NAB. And it was April of 2011 at the Super Meet. That's where Apple took over the Super Meet and debuted Final Cut Pro 10. We all know about that. They've also released ProRes RAW at NAB Monday morning. They've released Final Cut Pro, this is not Final Cut Pro 10, this is Final Cut Pro Classic. I think it was 10.4.5 on a Sunday night before NAB, and that was Final Cut Pro HD when it first started doing HD. They've done multiple other things at NAB. They've announced 2 million users at NAB. They've announced 2.5 million users at NAB. They've done many times, Apple has done things with Final Cut Pro at NAB. Other years, nothing. Last year, 0 Final Cut Pro news at NAB. Nothing. 2022, I don't remember specifically. There was no Final Cut Pro events. So it's hit or miss whether we get something specifically timed at NAB. But here's the two events that are happening. Apple event in March with new iPad Pros, and then NAB. Now, if you remember in 2022 also, they allowed a beta version of Final Cut Pro to be leaked on the internet? Was it 2022 or 2021? They allowed a beta version of Final Cut Pro to be leaked on the internet, on YouTube videos. Justine had it first, everybody else had it second, with dupe detection. Apple allowed that right before NAB. That's another time. So it's really a hit or miss whether we get anything at NAB or not. I don't know, but we're kind of due for an update, feature update, not a bug fix update. So now that we're in March, I am saying that I think we're going to get a Final Cut Pro update either at the Apple event in March, which will probably be the second half toward the end of March, or sometime before NAB for NAB, and it'll have a feature or two. That's what I'm hoping, or 3. Yeah, the 2 Dylans, absolutely. I call them the Final Cut Pro Dylans. They're both good. Yes. They knew you already. Yes, they knew me. They knew me because I've been on, look, Final Cut Pro Radio has been on. We have over 2 million podcast downloads. I've been live streaming this live stream every Saturday morning for 55 weeks continuously. Before that, I have tutorials. I went back and looked, and now that I'm monetized on YouTube, I'm up to almost 500,000 views on YouTube over the years. A lot of my videos I have 30,000, 20-some thousand views, 10,000, 15,000 views. Those are the tutorials that usually do the best. People like getting information, and I try to deliver it quick without a lot of hubbub, not a lot of talking beforehand. I try to do them as quick as possible. They knew you already? Yes. Dylan shouted your name. Yes. I didn't know them to talk to them. Once they stopped me at NAB, I recognized both of them, Dylan Johnson and the Final Cut Pro. So we've been friends ever since. I've seen the Final Cut Pro multiple times. He was at the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. I've only seen Dylan Johns the one time. So I think many people don't realize just how impressive Final Cut Pro is. I was showing a younger Premiere editor some of the basics of what I was doing, and he was blown away. Yeah, listen, especially since they got the scrolling timeline. For me, it's been a big improvement. So I think Final Cut Pro is more powerful when you add motion. Absolutely, motion and logic both. I really need to learn motion, but glad people like Dylan are out there creating plugins. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go. Let me see if I have them that was the one I had. Do I have them again? I don't know if I have that. I had them a second time at the Super Meet. We were there. Let me just see if I have. Let me see if they're in this one. They might be. This is a Super Meet. Dan Berube had it in 2022. He didn't have one last year.
Super Meet 2022, Las Vegas, NAB. How you doing?
Good. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, 3 years at least.
At least.
Look who it is.
There's Dylan. There he is, right there.
I had a tough time actually in Chicago.
There they are.
I was living in Rogersford Park, and the biggest issue was
We're live.
living in an area that was very dangerous.
No music, so I can.
I remember being caught in a very bad situation. I was
Make sure you like,
the thing that actually shook me up and went.
So that was 2 years ago. That's when I met Dylan Johns and the Final Cut Pro at the NAB. And that was good. I'm glad I went to that. I'm glad they showed up at the Super Meet. There is another Super Meet at this point on Monday night again at NAB, so I will certainly be there Monday evening. I don't know where it is yet. I don't think it's been announced. I don't know where it is yet. But we have We do have, here's one thing that we do have. Let me just pull it up and see. See if they've announced anything yet. Oh, I have to spell it right. I got my new glasses and they're doing pretty good. Supermeat.com, here we go. 2024. No, it just says stay tuned for the Super Meats. It just says stay tuned for the Super Meats. Stay tuned. That's all it says at this point. Stay tuned for Super Meats in 2024. Start, close that down. So we should be hearing something because it's only 6 weeks away, right? It's only 6 weeks away. And that should be turned off. It's only 6 weeks. NAB is only 6 weeks. Now I've already booked there. I've already got everything booked. And at this point, everything's looking fine. There's no issues. I'll be staying where I normally stay. Have you considered the Osmo Pocket 3? I think you would enjoy the small form factor when you are not doing lives at these events. I did look at the Osmo Pocket 3, and I was considering it for filming. It looks really cool, but to be honest with you, I love this big screen. When I'm filming, when I have it in front of me and I can see the big screen rather than a little teeny screen. So, and I have the camera anyway. Now, the thing is, thank you for the thumbs up. We got 10 thumbs up already. I had to send my Insta360 gimbal, which is my main gimbal for my iPhone, back for repair because the jog wheel, oh, they did a thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. The jog wheel wouldn't turn left. It would go up and down and right, but the left was broken. When I put it right, thank you for the thumbs up. When I put it right, you can hear, I can feel a little click. When I pushed it to the left, no click, nothing. So something's broken there. I had to send it back. It's still under warranty, 1-year warranty. So I hope I get it back before NAB. It's supposed to arrive there this week. It's in California. And hopefully I get it back in time for NAB. I anticipate getting it back for NAB. Thank you. Look what else we can do. Look what else we can do. Add V2 looks interesting. Lots of AI coming soon. Yes, I'll be definitely talking to them. Alex says, couldn't justify going to NAB when I considered it in late December. Don't expect enough happening for me to justify the cost. I understand, Alex. I wish you would go anyway because I'd like to see you again. I saw you. We kept passing each other at the Creative Summit. You're in videos, but you kept, when I was interviewing somebody, you kept leaving the video because I guess you were just being polite. But anyway, we passed each other. I have videos of you at the Creative Summit. I'll be putting them up as we get closer. But that would be cool if you made it. I understand it's expensive. And I know about 3 or 4 things Final Cut Pro related happening at NAB. The first one I can talk about. So let's talk about that. Let me just go there. But unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be anything big. At this point, I don't think there's going to be anything big happening at NAB. Let me just pull this up here. But this is what I know. I am going to, as we go along, I'm going to announce, well, let's go over to here. Let's go over to the right group. Final Cut Pro at NAB, FCP at NAB. And here, let's pull that up. Here it is. So Final Cut Pro, FCP at NAB is our MacBook. Here we go. FCP at NAB. So Jen Jager, Nick Haraz, and Abba Shapiro are teaching Final Cut Pro sessions for Final Cut FMC at NAB. They are teaching. So this is the first time that Jen Jager's been teaching for Future Media Concepts at NAB. Now, I know about 2 or 3 other sessions that are going to be happening with Final Cut Pro at NAB. A couple of them involve third-party applications that are going to be demoing their product with Final Cut Pro at NAB on the show floor. I don't believe there's going to be any Final Cut Pro team presentation like there has been in the past. The Final Cut Pro team will absolutely be there, and I'm going to try to meet up with some of the people that I know on the team just to have a coffee or whatever. They're busy. They're meeting third-party developers and stuff. So good morning from Jamaica. So Alex said, couldn't justify going to NAB, and I considered it in late December. Don't expect enough happening for me to justify the cost. I completely understand that. But I go, first off, it's in my continent, so it's not quite, I don't have to go through customs and all that, so it's a lot easier, even though I'm on the opposite coast. But I do enjoy NAB a lot. Like I showed you, I met the Dillons there. I met a couple people. The super meet will be a big thing. The last time there was a super meet, which was in 2022, there were a dozen or more, probably more, but a dozen that I talked to, Final Cut Pro editors, people at the super meet. So that's a good place to meet people. But there's no FCPX guru gathering like Steve Martin used to do. I don't know if there's going to be a Final Cut Pro presentation at the super meet because nothing's been announced yet. But there are some at least mid-level things happening. Jen Jager, like I said, is going to be teaching sessions for Future Media Concepts. Now you have to pay for that. That's not free. There will be some free stuff on the show floor by third-party app developers demonstrating their product with Final Cut Pro. I'm not going to pre-announce that, but I know about it, but I'll let them announce it themselves. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. So let's do another movie. Speaking of Steve Martin, this is Steve at the Super Meet 2022. I really like this place. So that was on a rooftop restaurant area. So we were outside. During 2022, people were still concerned about the COVID situation and being indoors around a lot of people. So it was outside. There was a place we could go in case it rained. Our friend Jeff Arbaio says, any more info on the Super Meet? Not yet. I'll get Dan Bruby on one of these live streams when he makes his announcements. Alex 4D Gallner says there's a chance at NAB that there'll be announcements about Apple's suggested workflow for 8K immersive video production workflow for Apple Vision Pro. See, to me that would be a big thing. So will Apple have a presence at NAB for the Vision Pro? You would think they would. I mean, they can't, when they have WWDC, they reach a lot of people online, but they can't try on the Vision Pro at WWDC online, the people. At NAB they could, and it reaches not a wider audience, but it reaches a more diverse audience. When Apple has WWDC, it's specifically about Apple people. At NAB, it's not just about Apple people. It's about all video production and stuff. So I'd be surprised if somebody doesn't have Vision Pro there for people to try. I mean, I'd try it. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't gone to the store and tried it. But that's interesting, Alex. Alex 40 Goldner says there's a chance NAB there'll be announcements about Apple's suggested workflow for 8K immersive. Wow, video production. Workflow for Apple Vision Pro. Thumbs up for that information. No, where's my bubble? There we go. Thumbs up for that information. I'll be looking forward to that. As you might expect, I have some I get inside information all the time. I'm not going to say where from, but I don't reveal what I've been told unless it's allowed, unless people say you can make this public announcement. I will at that point. So Jen Jager's teaching for some of the classes. I might stop in a couple of those classes for a few minutes and film a little bit of that for future media concepts. The other event, so Monday night is Super Meet. Sunday night is the Content Creators Ball. Let's go over here real quick. The Content Creators Ball that Future Media Concepts puts on. And you can buy just the ticket for that if you want to. Now, that is not, see, here's their schedule. There's Future Media schedule. It's over there. It's Sunday. These are all the different classes. Of course, Jeff Greenberg will be teaching stuff. Let me just go over here. Sunday night, Content Creators Party. I'm sorry. They used to call it something. Yeah, Content Creators Party, 5:45 to 7:45, so 2 hours Pacific. And that has some Final Cut Pro people. And they will sell a separate ticket for that if you want to go just to that one event. Because what else is happening on Sunday night? I don't think anything. I will go there and I'll do a short, at least a short live stream for people that want to get the experience. And then I'll film longer versions for later after post NAB. So here's the deal. I go to NAB, Final Cut TV. As you know, Final Cut TV, I will provide a live window into NAB for people that can't make it. They can't be long live streams because the internet connection is very iffy. It'll be 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Like when I first arrive at NAB, I will do a video of me outside the NAB arena, convention center, like this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Let me see. I'm not sure. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. See, this is outside the convention center. This is me arriving. Here we go. This is DaVinci Resolve 16. This is 2019, maybe? NAB 2019 on a Sunday before it actually opened. I have a couple different mobile rigs that I'll be using. Sometimes I'll be handheld. Sometimes right now it's on a tripod. This is the South Hall. It's going to look a lot different tomorrow morning, obviously, when everybody gets here. So one of the interesting things is, thank you very much for the thumbs up. One of the interesting things is, last year there was no South Hall. They had Central, North, and the brand new West Hall. This year, there's no North Hall. There's South, Upper, and Lower. Let me turn that off. Every time I do a thumbs up, it shows reactions. Turn it off. So there's a South Hall, Upper and Lower. There's a Central Hall, no North Hall. And then the West Hall, which is very, very big. I was at the West Hall for the first time last year. It's very big. And you have to take a Tesla. You don't have to. It's actually too far to walk from the main South Hall, Central Hall, North Hall to the West Hall. Elon Musk dug a tunnel in Las Vegas, and he has Teslas going back and forth to take you from one area to the next. And it's very, 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 very cool. So you go down an escalator to the tunnel area, get in one of Elon's Teslas. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and they drive through the tunnel that he dug to get from North Hall to the West Hall. It's a little hike. It's a bit of a hike. One of the things that I learned, thank you very much for the thumbs up. One of the things that I learned, we got 15 thumbs up, it's fantastic, is when you look at a map of Las Vegas, everything is a lot further apart than you think. The first time I was there, I said, man, it looks like it was closer together. So when you look at the North Hall, Central Hall, and the West Hall, it's not that far apart on the map, but when you get there, it is. It's a hike. It's a bit of a hike. I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minute walk. If you walked it 5 minutes, I don't know. The car takes under the tunnel, and it's direct from one to the other, takes a minute or two in a car, in a tunnel to get there. So I imagine a walk is 5 minutes. So that's pretty cool. Oh, here's another comment from Alex 40 Gullner. Could involve a new camera if made by Blackmagic, then the suggested workflow might. That's very interesting. Involve DaVinci Resolve. Now, as we know, Blackmagic has the biggest, by far, area at NAB. By far. Let's take a look. They are always huge, huge area. This, I'm not sure when this was. Must be 2022, I think. But they have a humongous, the show floor presence that they have is just phenomenal. So if there is indeed a camera, as Alex suggested about an 8K camera that Blackmagic, this is where it would be. Now, not only do they have a giant, look at this. This is like fantastic. Over there, let me go back here a second. Let me show you something. So let me get on camera here. Over here, let me just point over here, is right above my head, is they have classes there. Resolve classes, Fusion classes, all kind of classes at their place. Now, I might take one of them. See, they're teaching, which is very, very cool. So you can see that they're teaching a class. I'd be interested in the Blackmagic camera app, number one, and then some editing, some basic editing at DaVinci Resolve, because I still like to use that. So Alex says, could involve a new camera. If made by Blackmagic, then the suggested workflow might be involved DaVinci Resolve. That would be interesting. Tim says, good morning from Oregon. Tyler says, I'm hoping for ProRes RAW support and Resolve announcement at NAB. And for those that use Blackmagic RAW support in Final Cut Pro. That would be a welcome. I mean, I'm not using either one of those. I don't use ProRes RAW, although I can shoot it on my Lumix S5 Mark IIX. If I bought an Atomos recorder, I don't shoot it. I don't shoot Blackmagic RAW either. Same thing. I can shoot it with my Lumix S5 Mark IIX if I bought a Blackmagic recorder, because the S5 II Mark IIX outputs raw video over HDMI. So, but you need a recorder to encode it as ProRes RAW or Blackmagic RAW. So that doesn't affect me, but for the people that it does affect, thank you very much for the thumbs up. We got 15 thumbs up already. For the people it does affect, I wish that absolutely you get that at some point. Not sure exactly why. It seems like it's politics, which is ridiculous. Which is absolutely ridiculous. So Final Cut Pro classes have really diminished at FMC in the past few NABs. Now it seems like they're headed back up again. They got 3 different instructors. Now, normally Ripple Training is teaching some of those, but I don't think they're teaching them this year. I think Jen Jager is going to teach, and Abba Shapiro, of course, is going to teach, and then Haraz is going to teach as well. Nick Haraz. I've had him on the show. All those people have been on the show. So that's what's happening as far as instruction night. Like I said, you got to pay for that. So the Content Creators Party on Sunday night, Monday night Super Meet, Tuesday night we might have a special announcement within our group, FCP and NEB. We'll have to see. I don't want to pre-announce it. There's no reason to at this point. It'll be a get-together, a dinner of some sort. It'll be everybody pays their own way. It won't be like the FCP Guru Gathering that Steve Martin generously put on for years and years and years. Now, I'm going to suppose that he lost money on those because they're just Vegas is so expensive. Everything's expensive in Vegas. Everything is expensive. Grab your coffee. There you go. Let me see what else we have over there in the movies section. I think we got a couple more. So that's the Black Magic. Here's Super Meat. Here we go. Oh, we already showed that one. Let's go. Oh, here we go. Oh, here, NEB, we already did that one too. Let me see. Here we go. Dan Berube at the Super Meet, at his Super Meet last time.
What a handsome couple. That's going on YouTube right there.
So that's a lot of fun. The Super Meet's a lot of fun. Tyler says, I don't think the ProRes RAW thing is politics. I think it's an API that Apple makes for apps to support and possibly patent conflicts with Red. When I say politics, I don't mean politics like politicians. I mean internal politics at Apple and Blackmagic. As big as both of those companies are, you don't think they could resolve that if they wanted to? I think they could. I think they absolutely could. I don't think it's a patent with the Red patent because both of these already exist. ProRes RAW exists, and Blackmagic RAW exists. Now, ProRes RAW at this point can only be done with external recorders. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. So Alex says, could they resolve it? Perfect analogy there, Alex. Of course they could. Of course. Apple and Blackmagic absolutely could resolve that issue. Now, if it is a Red RAW patent thing, they're not recording ProRes RAW. ProRes RAW also exists. Tim says, Alex beat me to it. There you go. They could resolve it. Yeah, of course. So here's the thing. The RAW patent, as far as I know, is for the recording of RAW. As far as I know, it's the recording of RAW, not the editing of RAW, I don't think. So the recording of RAW, right now, ProRes RAW can only be recorded on an external device. Cameras cannot record ProRes RAW internally. They have to go to a device, an Atomos device. Blackmagic RAW, their cameras record Blackmagic RAW, don't they? But Blackmagic RAW is not affected by the Red RAW patent because there's something happening that is not pure RAW. They do something to get around that patent. So once again, this is the editing of Blackmagic RAW and ProRes RAW. I don't think the patent applies to that. So I don't think it's a patent issue. But like I said, Blackmagic RAW, RAW and ProRes RAW, you don't think Apple and Blackmagic could resolve it, as Alex 4D said? I think they could. Atomos records ProRes RAW externally to many cameras. I have no patent problem. I wonder if the next iPad Pro could record ProRes RAW. Well, they record externally to the Atomos recorder. I guess what I'm saying is the cameras don't record internally. The cameras don't record ProRes RAW internally. They have to go externally to an Atomos recorder. My camera cam, my Lumix X5 Mark IIX, outputs raw video via HDMI. But you can't record it internally. You have to go externally either to the Blackmagic device or an Atomos device to get one of those two. So who in the heck knows? It's been so long. ProRes RAW was announced at NAB. On the Monday of NAB, 2019 perhaps, when it came out, I think, it was announced at NAB. This is another example of the ProRes, of the Pro Apps team making an announcement about Final Cut Pro at NAB. They had an update to Final Cut Pro, and that included the ProRes RAW update at NAB. So, but anyway, I think as powerful as Apple is and as powerful, as big as Blackmagic RAW, if they wanted to work it out, they would work it out. I don't think that editing is a patent issue with the red patent. There you go. Alex 4D says, just need the forthcoming $300 Apple HDMI out to Thunderbolt 5 cable. There you go. $300. Hey, if it is, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a patent issue for editing. For editing. I'm not talking about recording, just editing. I'm curious to see what's being planned on the Blackmagic camera app. They took out ProRes 444. Yes, on the big one, right? The brand new one. But do some of the other Blackmagic camera apps still record ProRes 444? But remember now, we have ProRes Log on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. We can record ProRes Log in ProRes HQ with the native camera app, and we can record Apple ProRes Log to any flavor, H.264, H.265, any flavor of ProRes in the Blackmagic camera app. So I use that a lot. I really, really like Apple ProRes Log. Then maybe the issue is an existing agreement between Atomos and Apple, and Blackmagic has a lot of baggage with Atomos now. That could be. But this is, once again, this is not capturing. I'm not talking about capturing ProRes Log. I'm talking about just editing ProRes Log. So it's already been captured somehow. It seems like, I mean, look what Chris Hawking did with Final Cut Pro. I haven't used his Blackmagic RAW app, but it does something, lets you edit easier inside of it. Sean Beckner said, did you get your Action 4 yet? Let me tell you something. It was supposed to be here yesterday. Shipped from California. They kept saying Friday, March the 1st, Friday, March the 1st, Friday, March the 1st. Well, the UPS site never updated. Never arrived on Friday, March the 1st. Let me just check now. So it's pretty close to being here, but it's just not here yet. It's somewhere in the pipeline. Let me just pull it up and see if they've let me know when it's going to be here, because they didn't make what they were supposed to. Here we go. It says the delivery date will be provided as soon as possible. So it was supposed to be here yesterday by 7 o'clock. There's been I don't think there's been any update. A few details. I don't think it's arrived in my state yet. It just says on the way. Departed from Ontario, Canada, Ontario, California on February the 27th. And today is March the 2nd, and it still hasn't got here. I'm really looking forward to it. That camera looks fantastic. It's nice and small, and I can wear it here or on my strap at NAB. So I guess I'll get it within the next day or two. Alex Gollner says, imagine ProRes 444D. Instead of using the fourth D for alpha, use it for a depth map. That would be very interesting, especially with the Vision Pro. I just got one now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting mine. Hey, so I was looking, my GoPro camera, which I use a lot, is GoPro 7. That's how old mine was. And I said, let's see what's available. I looked at the GoPro 12. It's $500. I thought, I don't get that. And I looked at the YouTube videos, and I like the Action 4 and the Insta360, whatever their camera was, but their camera's bigger. It's much bigger, and it's also much more expensive. So I said, let me see what else is available. The Action 4 is only $299, just the basic kit, which is all I need. And I found it on their website for $239 as a refurb on the DJI.com website. $239, it's a no-brainer for the Action 4. So I bought it. It's coming here. Might come today. Don't know. Might come. Who knows when. I should get it this week anyway. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, there's a lot on the site. They have some kind of is it a raw video file format they have or something? Yeah, Ace Pro is really good, but the Ace Pro is bigger. I don't want a bigger GoPro. I want the same size or smaller. So the Ace Pro technically has a few things that are better than the Action 4. $450. $450. And it's bigger. I don't want a bigger camera. I want a smaller camera. When I shoot with the Action 4 at NAB, for example, I'll have it running. I'll have my backpack, and I'll hook it on to the strap, or I'll wear it around something here and have it in the center. Probably on the strap. I'll have it there and just let it run as I'm walking around and stuff, and just record it. Ace Pro is HK, but at 450, but the difference is so close to the Action 4. Yeah, exactly. It's bigger. I prefer the Action 4 for pocket camera. Yeah, exactly. I want a smaller camera, not a bigger. I'll have two iPhones. This one and a backup. And I'll have the Action 4 for NAB. I'm not bringing my Lumix S5 Mark II X like I did for the Creative Summit, but I don't need it at NAB because everything's light. I'm not going to be filming in the dark like I knew I was going to be. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. We got 17 already. Like I did for the Creative Summit. So, couple of things. After NAB, Future Media Concepts will probably, well, typically they make an announcement about the Creative Summit in maybe a pre-announcement in June, but June, July, and August, they firm up the details. They have to work with Apple. They can't just schedule it without getting Apple's schedule. And I think last year it got to be late and they couldn't get the Juniper Hotel like they had in the past, which worked out really well. But it was a very, very good event. I really enjoyed it. The hotel was not at the same place as the other things, but that's okay. It worked out all right. So Sunday night, content creators party, but it's you have to pay. Last year was $75, and they have some food there. And then Sunday, and then Monday will be the super meet. Those will be the two evening events. I'm getting in early. I'll be up early Sunday morning, have breakfast somewhere, and then get to the convention center. It doesn't open till 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Monday and Tuesday opens at 9 o'clock. Sunday, it opens at 10 o'clock. That's the first day. Sean says, the Action stays cooler than the GoPro 2. Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. Eric Emmerich, most NABs have some sort of hot topic or theme for this. What is this for this year, if there is one? What do you think it is? AI. AI. It'll be everywhere. Everywhere. It'll be everywhere. Are you going to the content creators party, and can you put a link for that? I certainly will, Jeff. Yeah, I'll be there, but I'm a media partner with FMC, so I get to go to their events. Keep that in mind. But this thing is, yes, everything in NAB is expensive. I don't know the price of the content creators party yet. I certainly will post it on our Facebook group, but it has been $65 and $75 in the past. What else are you doing on Sunday night? That's the thing. Everything's expensive. Super Meat's not. Super Meat's very reasonable. Super Meat gets subsidized. I'd like to see the content creators party a little less expensive for people, but yes, I will be there. Last year, at the content. Matter of fact, let me see if I have those. Let me go to my movies section. I'll show you a video from one of the content creators party. Let me see if I have it here. Highlights part 2. Let me see if this is it. Nope, that's not it. We've already seen that. Super Meat, Steve, live recording, camera A. Now, I don't have it here, but in the past, I've met Steve Bay's there, Ronnie Corchin's there, of course, Steve Martin's there. Philip Hodgetts has been at these content creator parties. Last year, I don't remember who I met. Well, Jeff Greenberg, of course. Jeffrey Orthwine was there last year. And Photo Joseph typically is there. A lot of people like that. Thank you for the thumbs up. So am I going to the creators party? Yes. I'm not. What else are we doing on Sunday night? But it is, it's a little bit expensive. And it's not, they have food there, but it's finger food. It's not like a sit-down dinner. So you have to decide for yourself. But, I mean, what else are you doing on Sunday night? If you're going to be at NAB, what else are you doing? It's a pretty cool. It's 2 hours, and there's a lot of people you're going to know. But it's a lot of premier people and non-Final Cut Pro people, as well as some Final Cut Pro people. It's both. I mean, I'll be there. I'm Final Cut Pro, of course. So what else do we have? Let me just go over here a second. I'm going to do something. NAB. See if I can bring this up. Let me pull this up. NAB. Name contains NAB. I'm just doing a search. I know. Here we go. Let me pull this up over to the movies. This will give you an example of an NAB at the Creative Content Party. Here we go.
Yes. How are you? Are we live? You can be on camera now. All right. That's I can't say anything, but I can be on camera. I can't hear anything anyway. I got a little mic. Right. Okay. Are you streaming? Oh, well, good. I hope it's good sound. I'm streaming and recording. Oh, yeah. Fine. Okay. Good. Very cool. Take out all the bad parts.
That's Ronnie Cortins and Steve Bays, who that was the year he left Apple, so he could talk about some things. That was pretty cool. Camcorder used to be a hot topic. Development and advancement seems dead. Has the iPhone killed the market? No, I think there'll be a lot of camera announcements. I mean, the iPhone is certainly, this is phenomenal camera, and I have it with me all the time. And it shoots Apple ProRes log, okay? It's a great, great quality thing. It's got 3 lenses on it, and it shoots 4 different ways. I don't know. It's certainly taken away from some segment, but I mean, I got a full-frame Panasonic Lumix S5 Mark II X last year. I got it for $2,200, and that included a 50mm prime lens. It's an incredible price-performance ratio. Full frame, really good in low light, phase detect, autofocus. These are things that I had that I wanted. A whole bunch of other fantastic features. Shoots raw video out of the HDMI port. It's a great price. I mean, $2,200 with the prime lens. This cost me $1,600. It's incredible. So I think there will be a lot of camera information. I was just talking about some of the main things. It'll be AI, 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 AI. It was AI last year. Everything is AI, AI. Coming soon. We're going to AI this. We're going to AI that. Digital Anarchy. I interviewed them, and he said the best thing. I said, "Do you have AI in your products?" He goes, "Yeah, we sprinkle it around and all the different apps." He was the best quote. Everybody is sprinkling AI in all their apps. That's the quote. What is this one? Let's see what this one is. Yes, yes, yes. We got that one. We got that one. Oh, here we go. This is one. I was outside. I left my hotel one day at NAB, a couple of NABs ago, and this is what happened. These actors came around, and of course they wanted money, and I gave them some money. But this is what they did.
Dude, Richard, you are the coolest guy ever!
What a stunt! He's killing it! Oh my God! What an amazing young man!
Mucho guapo, yes. Are you over 21, sir?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you
yes.
okay to drink?
Yeah, I think so. All right. Thanks
Let's party and get a picture.
They actually picked me up. They said, "Is it okay to pick you up?" I said, "Sure." They picked me up. But of course they wanted money, which is fine. I paid them, but I didn't pay them what they wanted. So I have a fun time. I have a fun time when I go to NAB, but I'll be honest, the main reason I go is to find Final Cut Pro stuff. Now, in the past, let me see. Oh, look, I have this. This is very cool. In the past, I have, some of the NABs have been very Final Cut Pro active. Like I said, 2017, 2018, where they had, the Final Cut Pro team did a presentation. And let me just do this real quick. But in 2019, we had somebody from the Final Cut Pro team on the stage. Oh, here we go. Let me just show you this. I'll just show you a couple. I'll be showing movies all along as we go to different events. Here's the Faster the stage, just quickly. But they're not having that this year. So here's Philip, our friend Philip. Here's Ronnie again. So these are fun events, but they're not having one of these. They're not having a big event like this. This took the place of the Super Meet that year.
What? Okay.
Hey,
How you doing?
you know,
No, I met you in line the other day.
Yeah.
Content
He's pretty
creator
famous, too.
celebration. How you doing?
No, I'm not.
yeah, he is. He's really famous. I mean,
Thanks, Jeff. So as we get closer to NAB, which is only 6 weeks, well, I'll repeat myself. As we get closer to NAB, which is only 6 weeks away, I will be playing more. Thank you, everybody, for telling me my audio was off. I turned it back on. I'll be playing more and more videos from 2016 NAB, 2017 NAB, 2018 NAB, 2019 NAB, no NAB in person in 2020 or 2021 because of COVID. And then 2022 I was there, 2023 I was there, and 2024 I was there. I literally have 30, 40, 50 hours of NAB video that I have, including interviews. I interviewed, well, let's check this out real quick. Look who I interviewed last year. I got to look through here we go. This is last year I interviewed LumaFusion. Hey. You gotta pay for that. You have to pay for that. So we're at NAB 2023. And do you have anything new?
We might have something new. You want to talk about it?
Sure. Yeah, we're releasing Multicam Studio. That means you can shoot up to 6 cameras and a separate audio, put them all in the synchronizer, and they'll all sync up by audio waveform or by timecode. And
so that was just one example. I've interviewed Filmic Pro, I've interviewed Steve Martin, I've interviewed LumaFusion, I've interviewed a lot of people over the years at NAB, plus a lot of my friends, and I will be playing those videos from here until NAB on these live streams on Saturday mornings. To me, the ability to live stream from any location, even without Wi-Fi, is a must in a camcorder. I agree 100%. The technology exists. I wish manufacturers would make it a priority for the ENG market. I can live stream from my Lumix S5 Mark IIX. You can live stream, but you need Wi-Fi. You have to connect to a Wi-Fi, or I haven't been able to get it to connect to my phone for some odd reason. But I've tried it with streaming from here, and it's worked. So my Lumix S5 Mark IIX can live stream, but it needs Wi-Fi. The problem in NAB is you really can't use their Wi-Fi. They have a very, very, very slow Wi-Fi connection that's free. I use my phone, my cellular connection, but inside the convention center, it's hit or miss because we're inside of a building and there's lots of other people trying to do the same thing. Excuse me. So what I typically do is I film a lot during the day, and I'll either go back to my hotel room in the afternoon or early evening, and I'll put together clips, and then start a live stream from my hotel with my MacBook Pro. Then I can be live, plus I can insert clips that I filmed throughout the day. That's what I'll be doing. But I will be live streaming from NAB. For example, when I first get to NAB, to the convention center, I will post a live stream. I will post me there. Hey, I made it. I'm convention center. If you have any questions, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll try to live stream as I'm going into the convention center first. I just can't do that constantly because of the poor connection. So I will live stream. Absolutely. I will provide a window into NAB for you, a live window. FC Final Cut TV will provide a live window into NAB, many different segments, but I will also open up live streams afternoon, evening, in the morning. We'll talk like we're doing this morning, and I'll post videos that I filmed during the day. That's the other thing. So that's worked out very well. Worked out very well from the Creative Summit, and it's been working out very well from NAB in the past. I'm looking forward. I'm very excited about NAB. I hope something from Final Cut Pro. There's 2 or 3 things I know about. 2 more things. I've already announced one. Super Meet, I suggested that somebody from the Final Cut Pro team do a presentation there. Who in the heck knows? Because Premiere will be there. Adobe Premiere, they're a sponsor. Blackmagic will be there sponsoring, so they'll have something. Even if Apple doesn't sponsor, well, they're going to have to sponsor if they do a presentation. There's Final Cut Pro people there, and that's the only thing that I know of. There's no FCPX guru gathering. None of that stuff. That's 2018 was the last time that happened. Faster Together stage was great. Sam Messman was involved with pushing that with LumaForge over the years. They did a lot of sponsoring of that. Sam's with OWC now, and I'm not even sure. I think he might be gone from OWC. So we'll have to see. He was a big person pushing for all the Final Cut Pro stuff. Steve Martin as well. I've talked to Steve a number of times, and he was talking about the FCPX Guru Gathering, and it's expensive. It's expensive, so we'll have to see how that goes. What else do we have to talk about? Let me just pop over there on Twitter. Twitter. Let me see. What do we have? Anything going on? I mean, the thing is, what else is going on in April? There's nothing else going on. I could sit home and just read the news like everybody, but in the past, listeners have supported me. I've had other people. You supported me with Fanica, with buy me a coffees. You bought me coffees so I can get coffees and get hamburgers and French fries, which is my main. I go completely off my diet when I go to NAB because I have to eat when I can grab something. They have great breakfasts there. There's a couple of places that have really good American breakfasts that I go to in the morning. So we'll see how it happens. But in any event, if you're interested in Final Cut Pro at NAB, go over to, let me turn this down. Go over to our Facebook group. Go over to our Facebook group, FCP at NAB. This is where we're going to be posting this is a small group, most of our information about Final Cut Pro at NAB. Of course, we're live on there right now. Are we live on there? Huh. Well, that's interesting. We're not even live on there. Well, we should be. Well, it's okay. We're live in plenty of groups. So FCP at NAB was one of the main places you can go. You can also, of course, go to Final Cut Pro Radio TV. That's another place that we can go to. TV and radio, TV. Yeah, we're live over there right now. And then we also have FCP. Look at this. We also have Final Cut Pro Tips and Tricks Final Cut Pro Tips and Tricks is my biggest Facebook group, 12.5 thousand members at this point. Final Cut Pro Radio has 2,100. So between the two of them, I got over 15,000 people that are, following along on our Facebook group, which is very, very cool. Very, very cool. Do you have any questions? So one of the questions was, what's the big thing at NAB? It's going to be AI, of course. AI everywhere. AI. Cameras, apps, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'd like to see. I'd like there to be a Final Cut Pro 10.7 update, either at the Apple event in March, it's March now, or before or at NAB, that has text-based editing / auto captioning in Final Cut Pro 10.7.2 or whatever they want to call it. That's what I would like to see. I have no idea if that's going to happen, but I think we'll see text-based editing / auto captioning in Final Cut Pro 10.7 in 2024. Now, last year, Adobe came out with text-based editing. Avid already has it. And Blackmagic Beta, both Adobe and Blackmagic Beta came out with text-based editing in their NLEs at NAB last year. There was zero Apple news at NAB. I think that's a mistake. I think that Apple absolutely, the Final Cut Pro team, should be putting out something. Try to put out an update around NAB so there's Final Cut Pro buzz at NAB. because with nothing happening in Final Cut Pro updates, the buzz is really, Final Cut Pro buzz is right down here. Now you could say, well, they do it at Creative Summit. Yes, but NAB is much bigger than the Creative Summit. NAB has 60, 70, 80,000 people. It has 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 not sponsors, exhibitors. We have two comments. What is text-based editing? Text-based editing is your video is transcribed. This is how I use it. I use DaVinci Resolve for this. Your video is transcribed. Once it's transcribed, I can select sentences or paragraphs and the text, and it correspondingly selects that portion of the video. And then I can drop it into a timeline. And I can select another portion, and I can drop it into the timeline. So it's selecting the text, selects the same portion of video. That's text-based editing. So Alex 4D says, don't expect a Final Cut Pro feature update until summer. If it was going to happen in the first half of the year, it would have been around the Vision Pro launch. I understand that sentiment, but I don't agree with that. I think that they will have a feature update for NAB. Now, whether or not it's based on the Vision Pro, I don't know. I'm not overly confident about that. I'm just saying, Final Cut Pro team, they watch this video. We know they watch it. Putting out a feature update, they did it in 2022, dupe detection right before NAB. They put out ProRes RAW at NAB. They put out Final Cut HD Classic 4.5 at NAB. They've had many, many feature updates around NAB over the years. This is a good year to do that. Suppose you have 5 features. Give us 2 or 3 for NAB. At the Apple event, they could do it. They could have an update for Final Cut Pro with a feature, 2 or 3 features at the Apple event, and then that will carry over to create buzz at NAB. So I understand what Alex is saying. Don't expect it. Some people said that. We'll see. I'm not overly confident that my prediction is right, but I think it's very, very real possibility. Now, I was very confident that we would see 10.7 at the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit, and I've said it many times on the live streams leading up to the Creative Summit. So, Alex, would you like to see text-based editing? Would that be something you would use? Since I do some documentary stuff, I absolutely would like to see it. A Final Cut Pro for Mac, iPad, Vision Pro, WWDC to show what a Pro app can be used for iPad. I understand, but I think they're going to show the iPad in March at a March event. They're going to show an iPad Pro at the March event. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to wait till WWDC. They're going to have a March event with the iPad Pro. If they have a March event with the iPad Pro, they might show a new version of Final Cut Pro for the iPad and for the Mac at that point. It's not a new version in the sense it's going to be 10.8, but a new version as far as features for 10.7. We got features at the end of November. That's December, January, February, March, 4 months. I'd like to see another feature update because that'll help with buzz at NAB. Don't know. Apple's been hit or miss with NAB feature updates over the years. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. I think the possibility exists that they can have it for this NAB. I think they absolutely could have. It's not out of expectation, the area of expectations, because they've done it in the past. They have specifically updated Final Cut Pro around NAB. They did not do it in 2023, but they did it in 2022. Dupe detection came out in March. I'm sorry, dupe detection was allowed to be on the internet in March. The actual update came out in April, right before NAB. I think the same thing could happen this time. I think you could see Final Cut Pro updated around the Apple event. Don says, I do documentaries as well. Text-based editing would be a game changer. Yeah, you don't need text-based editing for a multicam, and you don't need text-based editing for doing music videos. But for long form documentaries, absolutely. Also, not only for documentaries, but for podcasting. I use it for podcasting all the time. I do a 2-hour recording and I say, okay, well, I don't want to talk about this. Don't select it. Select before and after and just put it in a timeline. And it works out really, really well. I like how Apple keep the 90-day free trial by often updating Final Cut less than 90 days apart. Yes, that's very cool. You've mentioned that on X and Twitter and places in the past, and I said, oh, you can get a new update. Every time it updates, you can get a new 90-day extension. And 90 days is very, very generous. Very generous for trying out Final Cut Pro for free. 19 thumbs up. Fantastic. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. So, as usual, we are going to be here on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, U.S., until, well, right up to NAB. I won't do one NAB Saturday because I'll be traveling. So I won't get a chance to do one. Maybe we'll do one Friday or something. But anyway, so, yeah, Final Cut TV and Coffee every Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern. And if, for example, if Final Cut Pro 10.7.2 comes out as a bug fix or something, we'll go live. Any major Final Cut Pro news, we'll probably have Dan Berube on when he makes his announcement for the Super Meet. We'll have other people related to NAB on as well. We'll have some interviews. I have a couple other interviews I have lined up. The Aussies are coming back at some point. We're going to arrange a schedule for them to come back. That'll be during the week, though. That won't be on the Saturday. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. We will come back here on Saturdays at 10 o'clock, as we normally do. And like I said, I'm monetizing my channel on YouTube now, but I'm not planning on monetizing the live streams while they're live. Okay, I've turned that off. Afterwards, for people that come back and view this after the live stream, I'll turn the monetization on then. Thank you very much. 21 thumbs up. Fantastic. Fantastic. It is really, really cool. We are growing. We're getting more subscribers. We're getting more viewers on Saturdays and stuff. 55 of these I've done every Saturday. I think I might have skipped one Saturday. So 55 of these in a row. This is year 2 of these. I've been here every single Saturday. What else is going on about Final Cut Pro? Nobody else is doing these kind of regular Final Cut Pro events. I mean, people have scattered live streams once every month, every 6 weeks or 8 weeks. I do them every Saturday, plus my live streams, plus I will be doing some more tutorials in 2024, short ones. My tutorials are called One More Thing. Short 1 or 2 minute tutorials on Final Cut Pro. I'll do a few more of those or whatever else I feel like. So I did if you saw, I did the rolling studio that I have the video. It's a vertical, it's a short on Facebook and YouTube both. Between the two of them, it's got over 1,000 views. It's really, really cool if you get a chance to check it out. No more questions or comments. I'm going to get out of here. I do have a meeting today at 12 o'clock I got to get to. But anyway, thanks. You are the best audience for any Final Cut Pro live stream. You come here every Saturday. You expect us. I want to thank our friends for coming today. Alex Gallner, Don Stafford, everybody else. Auto Balancer. I'm not sure. Is that Video Auto Balancer? Jim Ebbs, Darius, Sean Beckner, Jeff Arbaio, Eric Emmerich, Sean Beckner, if I didn't say him already. Alex 4D, I've already said. Tyler Darlington, Tim Musto, and everybody else that showed up today. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's really, really good to see you on Saturdays. And I'm going to get out of here. I got a meeting to go to. So don't forget to do this. Where is this? Subscribe. Where is that? Is that available or not? Oh, that's my YouTube channel. That's that. I don't know if I have a, I don't know. Do we have that? Let's put that up there. So Final Cut Pro 10.7, we have a specific group just for 10.7. It's a small group, but mainly over there, YouTube, Richard Taylor TV, and Facebook, I have Final Cut Pro Tips and Tricks, and Final Cut Pro 10.7, and FCP at NEB, and of course, Final Cut Pro TV and radio. Till next week, I'll see everybody then. Thanks for tuning in. If nothing happens during the week, I'll see you next Saturday. Thanks for tuning in.